Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm sorry, it's on me. I'm about 4 minutes late, but it's a good cause. I was down. We're having a domestic violence kickoff. Domestic violence is in the month, right, Kelly, of October. So we're gearing up for that, and we always start a couple days early. So there is some guest speakers that we have out in front of police headquarters tonight. Some survivors of domestic violence, those that have battled through some things. And then immediately following some of the conversations that we're having outside, we're going to move inside the police department here at police headquarters and a rap party. Now, I tell this joke when I first heard about a rap party. I remember a couple years ago, I asked, wait, we have a performer coming in, which is great. How are we doing that? And they looked at me like, Chief, a rap party, like we're wrapping boxes for donations. And of course, being the quick thinker that I am, of course I know that. I got it. But it was, they teased me, and I eat it up. So after we finish here tonight, I'm going to go down and spend some time with their sororities, our chaplains, police officers, special victims, transitions. Just Dr. Shaver's done a great job putting things together. I'm so excited. And you know what, Kelly? A couple days, I'm going to switch this badge out for my pink badge representing domestic violence. So
breast cancer awareness month. That's why we wear the pink badges.
Pink, right? They keep telling me I need to get a purple one.
Right.
For domestic violence,
Yes.
But I tell you, the pink one's got a little bit of a hue. If the sun catches it right, I might be able to pull double duty off. Ms. Cox, thank you so much for being here. Carrie, do me a favor, since you're the first one logging on that I see, would you please let me know, is video, visually and audibly, are we sounding okay? And is the picture looking okay? Just to let me know if things are going well. I don't know if you caught the earlier afternoon show we did, the session at 12. But Joy was on pretty quick, and she let us know that we're sounding okay and coming across. So as I talk into this little light, would you let me know, Ms. Cox, if they sound okay and visually we're coming across okay? I really enjoyed the afternoon session. We have our newest member finally here. Big shoes to fill with Lauren Moss when we lost Lauren, and she went across the water. But she does a phenomenal job where she's at. So Kelly and Matt have been picking up the slack there. Then we finally have our newest member,
Crystal Searcy.
Crystal. Her last name Crystal, but Crystal she interacted with us on the afternoon session, and I'm told Kelly that her mom and dad might chime in tonight. So I very much look to hearing from Crystal's mom and dad. Man, she's fantastic. She is high energy. She's exactly what we've been looking for. I'm looking forward to working with her. But we did the afternoon session together, and Crystal's going to add to this team now as we move forward in documenting some of the things that we're doing here in Newport News, highlighting some of the great things going on in our community, focusing on our youth. I'm really, really excited about that as we move forward. And we're into a brand new school year now. Things are going well so far. I want to see that continue. Excited about high school football's back. I've been to the games on Friday. I'll be there tomorrow or Friday night, and then we have another game Saturday afternoon, Phoebus and Warwick. So I'm looking forward to that. So what I'm going to do today is I've got a list full of things I'd like to touch base on. It was crazy because this afternoon, most of you all, people that logged on, brought all those topics up, which I think is fantastic. It tells me that people are locked in, that they know things going on, and that's great. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over to the list. People that I see logged on, I'm going to thank you for being here, call you out a little bit, and as posts come in, I will try to hit each one. If we miss one, I'll ask Kelly, who's helping me out tonight. She'll scroll up and scroll down. I don't want to miss any. I want to do the best I can to hit each one, and we will go from there. Okay. All right. So let's start at the top. So Carrie, thank you. Carrie, thank you for that. Rhea, thank you for being here. Rhea, one of our former police commissioners, who's off in college now. What's the one right before Rhea? Thelma, Miss Baker, thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Rhea says, can you hire me too? I tell you, we're hiring younger and younger. I think we've got a couple interns that just got picked up think we have 3 interns that we hired on for a while, and one of them I just met downstairs, Hampton University, and she's one of the guest speakers tonight at the domestic violence meeting downstairs. So I'm really excited to get down there and spend some time. Annette, good evening. Oh, Miss Annette, good to have you here. Christina Santiago, Crystal is great. We used to, oh, wait a minute. We got our first Crystal fellow. Hold on a minute. Crystal is great. We used to work out together years ago. I was so excited we added her to the team. Chief, this is Analyst O'Mara. So, wait, Christina, okay. I got you. So, well, I'll tell you, Christina, I am glad you know her. If you got any good, funny stories, let me know, because I like to have a little bit of fun and tease her a little bit. But just my interaction with her so far, man, I mean, she is, I just passed her in the hallway, as I went down and shook some hands with some people at the domestic violence they're getting ready to set up for their program tonight, and I passed Crystal in the hallway, and she's like, Chief, I'm going to take some pictures. And she was excited. She's got a huge smile, and, man, I'm just, yeah, I think that's great. So, Christina, thank you. Kayla, I was just down there talking to your friend. Here she wants to run for the Young Adult Police Commissioner President. But I was just down talking to Samaya. She's down there already, hooked up with Monica White, and as they're laying things out and get stuff situated for the wrap party tonight for domestic violence. She's helping out and looks great, senior this year. So she's following in her footsteps on graduating and as things play out. So I hope you're doing well in school. Proud of you for where you're at and being up there. And I might have some people across the street there, my friends in Richmond, keep an eye on you. So they may or may not have name, address, fingerprints. I'm just playing. But I'm glad you're doing well. Heard you might be in town next week, so I hope to get to catch up and see you. Christine, I do. No, that's great. I am. So, Christina, you got to come up and give her a little bit of a hard time too. For Christina, have you seen Crystal yet, or have you been able to catch up with her yet? But man, I'm excited. I heard her mom and dad might log on tonight, so if they do, you guys got to give me something good, something funny. Does she walk around singing her favorite song? Something. I got to have something. Ms. Guzman, hi Chief, how are you? I haven't talked to you for a while. I have some ideas on my brain that I would love to share with you. Well, Ms. Guzman, I would love to hear them. That sounds great. It has been a while since we talked. I thought I might have seen you out at the what's the parade? The Demi Day Parade. I thought you might be out there. I didn't know if I'd run into you or not out there, but yeah, definitely shoot me a text message. We can talk a little bit and catch up, and that would be outstanding. Warm regards from Oasis Divina family. I just was doing something this weekend. I just finished an event. I was driving through City Center, and I saw Oasis folks at City Center taking a group photo. Man, everybody seemed to be having such a great time. It was great. So, absolutely. And by the way, great organization, great church. Appreciate everything you're doing in the Latino community and the Newport News community. You guys are a blessing, and just, man, you guys are fantastic. I really, really appreciate what you do. For those that have not been on before, what I usually do is give you a little bit of a snapshot about the crime in our city. I'll tell you a little bit of data. A disclaimer, I know that every one of those data points, those are people. Those are individuals, communities, and neighborhoods. I don't lose track of that. But I do look at those numbers because I want to know if our strategies are working and we're seeing crime go down, or if our strategies are in place and we're seeing increases, and we've got to tweak those strategies. But if those strategies are working and numbers are going down, we need to double down on some of those things, or make sure we're using some of those things in areas that we have not used them before, if that makes sense. So quickly on the crime. The city's down about 10% in crime across the board. In our shootings and our homicides, which is the most important for me when we talk about gun violence. Last year was a decade-low year for us. We reduced our homicides by 50% from where they were in 2023. So 2023 to 2024, right? And in 2025, we are under where we were in 2024. God has so blessed this city, this department, all the work that people are putting in. We have, this time last year we had 16 homicides in our city. Today we have 11. Of the 11 homicides this year, we have cleared 8, meaning we've made 8 arrests in the 11. Of the 11, 6 of those homicides are domestic violence, which we are starting to promote awareness on today. We usually start about a week out from Domestic Violence Month. Our shootings in 2023, we cut them by about 25% in 2024. We're about 3 or 4 under where we were this time last year. And that was about a 15-20 year low from last year. So I don't boast those, and like I'm not spiking the football. I'm just trying to be accurate and share with you where the data is, where the loss of life is, where violence is this year compared to last year. We've also solved 5 cold cases, meaning homicides that happened in years prior to this year. We've solved 5 of those. So of the 8 that we solved this year, and 5 additional we've solved. The detectives down there have made arrests in 13 homicide cases. And I talked a little bit about earlier that I understand the frustration. Some cases, there's cameras right there. Some cases have witnesses. Some cases, officers get too quicker and see the suspect at the scene. And sometimes we don't have those. We just have a bit of piece of information. Sometimes we have witnesses who don't want to come forward. I can think of 5 cases right now that we could solve. We know who committed the crime. Because the witnesses don't want to testify, we have to find other ways to be able to prove that individual or individuals committed that crime. So that can be challenging at times, but we never quit. We don't give up. We don't just sit somewhere and collect dust. We stay on them. There's always new technology evolving. Sometimes people change their outlook on life. A 19-year-old may not have wanted to get involved. Now they might be 25 or 30, and hey, I want to come forward and tell you what I saw in this case that happened 10 years ago. So there's all kinds of factors. But I just share with you, please don't ever lose hope, and that the men and women, myself and this department, are committed to bring those to justice who especially commit violent acts. We did have a shooting this morning. I'll touch base on that. I got a couple. Kayla, they're trying to recruit me. Wait, I miss you. Oh, let me go to Kayla first. I miss you. We have to catch up, Richmond's. Wow, they are trying to recruit me. Kayla, who's trying to recruit you? The police department up there? I can see that. They can see a little talent, but you tell them when you're done there, you're coming back to Newport News where you belong, right? We're back here waiting for you with open arms. So get the grades, get the diploma, and then boot scoop right back down here. 95 South, come on. I guess at 95 South, 64 East, both ways. They're trying to recruit. Josh, what are we doing about motorcycles being stolen? What are we doing about motorcycles being stolen? Josh, I will tell you, we had every Monday, we look at crime data every Monday, and we look at crime data every Thursday for about an hour on Monday and 2 hours every Thursday, both times 1 o'clock. And I will tell you, 3 months ago, the number one thing we were seeing violent crime decrease, and the one thing we were seeing in thefts were motorcycles and auto thefts, right? Motorcycles and vehicles. Some of the vehicles, there's a fault, I guess. They've done some recalls. Some people have done it, some people haven't. But they can be jump-started very, very easily. We've seen that particular type of vehicle has being stolen at a much, much higher rate. And we've also saw some spikes. We don't see it continually. We see a spike here and there where a motorcycle gets stolen, and then we get some video footage, or we get some witnesses that say, well, I saw a truck roll it up onto a truck bed and then drive off. We've seen some around the city center area. That's the ones that I've been most notified, because we see them, when we see what seems to spike, that's one of the areas that they hit in the central part of the city. So we the same thing that we do with auto thefts. We try to talk about awareness. Auto thefts, with a lot of people will do clubs. Remember the old club? We still do those. Are very, very effective. Not being able to steal a car. Motorcycles are different. I think that's some organized stuff. I think it's people who either scout out the area or live in the area. And we don't recover as many. Like when we have an auto theft, one of the first things, all right, we had a car stolen on Monday. Chief, it was recovered in Hampton, it was recovered in Norfolk, it was recovered here in Newport News. I'm not seeing a lot of the motorcycles stolen where they're being recovered at. So usually I don't think that is numerous people running around stealing motorcycles. I think it is a small group of individuals that do it collectively. It's one of the things when we talk about when we have our Chiefs meeting, I would like to know, like, hey, this is what's spiking in Newport News. What are you seeing in Virginia Beach? What are you seeing in Norfolk? What are you seeing in Portsmouth or Hampton, right across the street? So we keep our eye on it, but I haven't seen a rash of them start picking up. But I have seen, to your credit, to your question, I have seen more motorcycles being stolen or that have been stolen this year than years past. So we kind of try to share information, officer awareness in the areas where we're seeing thefts. Sometimes vehicle theft is hard. You know, it's kind of like burglaries. And the reason I say it's hard is because of time frame. Well, I went to bed at 8, 9 o'clock. I was in the house or apartment at 9 o'clock, and I got up at 8 o'clock to leave to go to work, and my motorcycle was gone. So did it happen 8, 9, 10, 11 at night, 2, 3, 4 in the morning? So some of those are hard. So the more that happen, we're able to have more data to complete a picture or looking at video footage around there. So yeah, it's something that we keep an eye on, but I have not seen a huge spike in motorcycle theft. But your point's well taken. We continue to monitor areas. Right now, it's kind of been in that central part, and I don't want to put you on, ask you too many questions here on the social media side. But is that an area where you have seen or maybe been a victim? I don't mean to assume that you have, but in that city center area or the central part of the city, or is it in other places? Kayla, I see you. That's good. So we talked about 10%. We're down in shootings. We're down in homicides. Like I said, that's not just the police department, though. To be very, very transparent, that is multiple resources that come to play. If we say crime is just the police department, we're the ones who respond to it. But to address it, and I really appreciate the mayor, vice mayor, city council, Mr. Archer, Bo Clayton, our city managers. We did a mid-year press conference in August to highlight some of the crime and be transparent with our community. And there's a bunch of thumbnail up there. Police department, Commonwealth Attorney, fire department, human services, right, or social service network, schools, neighborhood watch organizations, our hospitals, our CSBs, dealing with those individuals with mental illness, our coaching, our coaches, summer sports programs, transitions, just about any group, right? It's all like pieces of a puzzle, and you put this big puzzle together, and everybody plays a part. And when you put it all, all the pieces fit, you get a picture of what's working. So I get asked a lot by media, Chief, what's the number one thing that's reducing violent crime? And I will tell you, it's people and a sense of urgency. That we're responding to stuff. Sometimes on a Monday, we're not waiting until Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to look at it, or next week. We're addressing that. We're addressing that Monday afternoon. We're responding to a shooting or shots fired call just like we would a homicide. We did have an incident this morning. Looks like it's going to be domestic related. They're trying to work out if it was accidental or not. But I'm glad to say that the individual who suffered a gunshot wound is going to be okay. But we did respond to a shooting this morning. But resources are there. We were able to recover evidence. We have all the individuals. I just got an update about 3 hours ago about how he's doing in the hospital. He's going to make it. He's going to be okay. But the detectives did a really good job of piecing things together. Our forensics folks as well. Having that quick response, a sense of urgency, having people in the right places and people who care about other people. That to me is the key in what we're trying to do collectively as a city. There were 2 stolen out of the apartments by Tech Center. Yep, that's the city center. Well, central part of the city. I'm sorry, my friend. On the same night, with video of the truck leaving. So I think I know the video you're talking about because when I talked about the truck, that was what I was referring to. Yeah, no, Joshua, you're locked in we're talking about the same thing. Very good. Is it Graceland? Am I reading that right?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I appreciate that. David, which is safer, Autumn Lakes Apartments where I am in zip code or Woodward Tower zip code? Well, I will tell you, David, I think both neighborhoods are really good. If you want to direct message me and send me a message, I'll be glad to shoot you a phone call. We can have a little bit of conversation about it. But I think both of those neighborhoods are good locations, good people in both. Um, yeah, both of those are good locations, my friend. Two thumbs up, for me. So a couple of things I wanted to share with you in these sessions. I've tried to talk a little bit about what's just recently occurred, what's going on currently, and what we have going forward. So last week was Forensic Tech Appreciation Week. We are getting ready to hire our 10th forensic technician. We have 10 that are in the field. We have one that does, so it's actually going to be 11, one that does our NIBIN system, which is ballistics. As we collect shell casings and evidence from firearms and firearms, we used to send that over to the state lab. Sometimes we get that back in 45 days to weeks, 2 or 3 months. Now we get information back in about 24 to 48 hours. If that casing is linked to other shootings in whether other parts of the state, other parts of our city, other jurisdictions that surround us. Our forensic staff, Sergeant Crawford and his folks do an amazing job. David, I got your number, my friend. I'll shoot you a call right after I get off here. Thank you, by the way, sir. I don't get to spend as much time with them as I would. I will tell you they are a valuable part of our organization. I've got to see some of them testify in general district court, circuit court, and federal court. I can tell you, usually in March, April, May, when I go out to the high schools and we do our open forums, I'll have 4 or 5 officers with me, and always one of them is from forensics. And I'm telling you, the forensics technicians get the best questions. Young people see the stuff on TV, Special Victims Unit, NCIC, NCIS, all that stuff, man. The forensics folks get, like, what's the worst thing you saw? How long you worked on a case? What kind of case? Right? And they take a long time processing. They're collecting evidence and doing their measurements, right? Their photographs, and they really build cases. And a lot of times, I'll sit down with the Captain Petrosky, Lieutenant Schmidt, Chief Creswell, and we'll talk about at the end of the night, at the end of the day, what do we look like on this shooting? What do we look like on this homicide? And they will say, this is going to come down to a forensics case. And that's very, very hard to say. I was not at a crime scene when, hey, your fingerprints on the weapon, right? They just do phenomenal work. And, man, I could not be more impressed. I think we have the best forensics division in the state. I think the state lab and the medical examiner both have tremendous respect for what our folks do. Kelly and the others down there are just amazing. And I'm just so appreciative of what they do. And by the way, since last week was Forensics Week, I know a lot of people did different things. I think Chief Creswell brought in some food and some bagels, but dinner on me for that whole unit. But I wasn't going to do it last week. I wanted to do it. I'd give it a little bit of a break, and then bam. So I'd like to sit down and have a conversation with all of them in one room, and then just provide dinner on me. But they are some phenomenal people, dedicated talent. I see them in the break room. I try to tease them a little bit. Sometimes I see them playing Uno or just sitting around chopping it up, chatting and stuff. But they're just good people, man. And to our forensic technicians, please know I appreciate you. When I see you at crime scenes, I try not to bother you. But I know some of you will come like, I'll ask you, what do you think? How many rounds? Or can you show me the photographs of the measurements? And you guys are just phenomenal. And I am so impressed. I didn't mean to spend long there, but they're some of the most hardest, dedicated people. Sergeant Crawford does a great job. Joy, hey, I heard the call this morning on Pulse Point for the young man. Said prayers. Glad for an update. Yeah, Joy, appreciate that. Yeah, he's going to be okay. They're working through actually what happened inside that apartment, but there's no danger to the community. It looks like it's going to be domestic related. It may or may not be accidental. I just have not got an update. For me, I wanted to know first, is everyone okay? When I got to the scene, I talked to some family members and individuals who live next door. And man, I tell you, there was one individual there that came up and just kind of collapsed in my arms, man. And I felt that, I felt that in my heart. And yeah, thank you, Joy. I appreciate that. All right, so we talked about So also this month, we're in Hispanic Heritage Month. So let me just share a little bit what we've done to promote the Latino culture is growing very, very quickly, rapidly in our city, which I think is a great thing. And those individuals who are blessed to speak Spanish and English both, what a gift. What we're trying to do in our department is 10% of each new academy class recruits, 10% come in speaking Spanish. We have a class that will start at the end of October, and that class, now see how that light went out? My friend, Crystal, dealt with that light all day today. And I just saw Crystal walk in, and look, she started to walk over here with a flashlight. She's like, Chief, you need a flashlight. So she dealt with that light all day today. And later, you might not know, but she stood up and had a flashlight over, so I'm just playing. But Hispanic Heritage Month, I will tell you, we had a blast. If you watch our Facebook page, you'll see we had some officers who did some 5 or 6 minute interviews. They talked about their culture. They talked about their thoughts on the Latino community. Zapata, which everybody knows, Camacho, Reyes, and Reyes is a good friend of mine. Reyes thinks he's a baseball, softball star, and while he was doing his interview, I didn't know they were still recording, but I sat down next to him, was teasing him a little bit, and he tells me, Chief, New York, and he talks about, look, let me just share this with you. Reyes don't have a lick of baseball talent ability, but he shows up on the ball field. So if you ever come to any of our softball games and you see us playing another team, fire department, sheriff's department, the military guys, let me tell you, Reyes is the guy behind the plate just talking trash, just having these conversations. But I'll tell you, that kid has such a heart for community and people. Love the way he interacts, and just could not. He's just a great officer, and he got to meet his father. He's phenomenal. So you'll see some of those. Myself and Kelly King, we spent about an hour and a half with a group of officers, Latino Heritage. I think Sergeant Ortiz and others. 2 of them were recruits. We have 2 classes in right now. One class graduates on October the 3rd, next Friday, and the other class graduates in February. We had an individual from each one. And I told you, I'm looking for about 10% of the class to come in speaking Spanish. Nothing against Rosetta Stone at all, but I am looking for individuals to come here that already have the gift of speaking Spanish. And I'll tell you, Kelly, I don't know how you felt, but in that roundtable meeting, one of the things that really resonated with me, and I certainly heard it before, but to look into faces that said it, that individuals that from other, whether it's Dominican Republic, individuals that are from Puerto Rico, they talked about that there was not a strong trust at times with law enforcement in those areas, those countries. And that resonated with me. So and they said, Chief, we have to, as law enforcement in Newport News, we have to continue to build bridges and break down some of those stereotypes that they may feel. And I was just, wow, to hear them say that. And that was impactful to me. So hence the reason I want to make sure that we have Spanish-speaking officers who are able to communicate. But like I said, it is Hispanic Heritage Month. We also have a city organization. We do our food tours. We'll visit Latino cuisine. We've had food trucks every Wednesday, and we'll continue for the rest of the month. Actually had some spicy food today. Man, I'll tell you what, it was right after my afternoon session. Me and Kelly and Crystal went down, and Matt, and we all had some Latino. It was just Spanish food was excellent. But yeah, so you'll see some more of those posts. I hope you follow us. That's important to me, how we interact and build bridges with our brothers and sisters from Latino communities, and they matter to me. I've been able to go out and speak to some churches and talk about some of the things that people are seeing in the community, in the state, around our country. We just had good open dialogue. Newport News Police Department is not going to take part. We do have open lines of communication, but we're not going to take part in those things. We're here to make sure that individuals who live here are protected and are safe. So I'm going to leave that there. I talked a little bit about the Dimby Day Parade, but before I go into that, let me just catch up. Annette, right? It's awesome that it's awesome that you appreciate the people that work for you and with you. Annette, you are so right. And I will tell you this: I'm so thankful. My prayers are, bless the people who do this job day in and day out. But I'm also thankful, and I'm very, very humbled to work with people, sworn and civilian, whether it's forensics, crime analysts, our dispatchers, our officers in patrol, our detectives, our investigators, our instructors at the academy, recruits that are in the academy that are just starting, and those that are getting ready to graduate from our media relations side of the house. It's the whole gambit. And I just work with such dedicated people. I actually interviewed a recruit today, and I asked the question, why did you pick Newport News? You could work in any jurisdiction, why here? And she said, Chief, from the minute I applied, the way the recruiters talk to me, from the officers that I know in the community that come in and I interact with, from what I saw on Facebook, this is the only department that I applied at. And everyone just talks positive. Now, look, we make plenty of mistakes. But for that individual to talk about that, her interactions with officers in this community, how she was treated from day one when she applied, that's exactly how we treat people matters. And I want that to spill over into our interactions in the community. Are we going to get every interaction right? Absolutely not. Is every interaction going to be positive? Absolutely not. Are the majority of them 100%? 100%. And I just think that's important. This is classified. This message will self-destruct in 32 seconds. When I interview recruits, there's 3 things that I'm looking for to bring people into this organization. You think outside the box, that you're creative, and you care about other people. I can't teach that. You get that from your faith, your family, your upbringing, your influence, your morals and values, how you feel about people here. But regardless of what scene we go to, what call we respond to, what interaction we have, if your baseline is, hey, I'm going to care about this individual that I'm dealing with, responding to, that I may or may not have to arrest, that I'm taking a report from, that I'm hearing their concern, that I'm just here to help, it goes much better if that's our foundation. We come back to, let's make sure that we have good, positive interaction. The best investment we will ever make are those investments that we make in others. So Annette, thank you. Latoya, it's good to hear from you. I hope you're doing well. I haven't got to see you or talk to you in a while, but I hope you're doing well. I was at the Denby Day Parade on Saturday. I walked it with my partner, Chief Rogers, the chief of the fire department. We walked it, had a lot of positive interaction. And you know what we did after we finished the parade and got to the end? You know what we did, Kelly?
Yeah.
We turned it around and walked it right back. We walked on the other side, so I got a little, I was feeling it later that day. We walked both sides of the parade. We finished it, turned around and walked it back, just had a good conversation. I outran a 5-year-old to get a pack of Starburst candy that was thrown. I did not, and then I gave it to the 5-year-old, but I won that race. I was like, whew, and the crowd was like, Chief, what are you doing? And I gave, and then I got a high five. But it was just great interaction. I thought the parade was great, and had a really good time. So I do want to invite you, the community, all those that are logged on today, October the 3rd, new church, Manna Church. We have a lot of our graduations at First Baptist. They weren't able to have an event going on. So Manna Church, next Friday, October the 3rd at 10 a.m. in the morning. 14 new police recruits will graduate. They will be patrolling the streets of our community. We had our NFL draft, if you will, last Friday, where we brought the captains in a room. The instructors talked about each recruit, what type of field trainer they would need, what type of individual, if they're introverted, extroverted, if they need an aggressive field trainer, if they need someone that's a little bit more reserved, someone that's a little bit more patient. We did the draft. They all know where they were going. Friday evening, the captains went to the academy, told them who was going where, and man, I'm excited. That is a good group, and there's another group right behind them that will graduate in February. So I'm really excited about that. Carrie, I know you've been to a lot of the graduations. I will tell you, if you've never been to a Newport News Police recruit graduation, it is a true event in our city. You saw posts on here. Kayla, you're still on here, I think. If you are, chime up for me, Kayla. At every graduation, every award ceremony, every memorial service, every national night out, every police graduation, one of our guest speakers is a teenager. I don't know if you'll see that anywhere else in the country. A high school student is making remarks in a challenge or a charge to individuals graduating the police academy. Individuals who are not much older than those high school students are. And I got to call Dr. Mitchell after every graduation and apologize for high school kids that will miss school to come to see police recruits graduate. Now I'm telling you, there's a lot more going on than just a graduation. High school kids and individuals interacting together, that's powerful. So we try to get as much youth involvement as we can. We've had youth come in and sing our national anthem. But I'm telling you, the city really comes out to see those graduations. And so I want to invite all of you to attend. So seeing Laura, you say the volume is muffled a little bit. All right, we'll see what we can do. Laura, I can tell you, I didn't touch nothing. Carrie, it's very beautiful, precious to hear from the youth. Yeah, Carrie. So I know you've attended. I think I don't know if you've missed a graduation in the last 7-8 years, but it's a really good event, and it shares a lot. So I appreciate that. Laura, we're checking now. Kelly and Krista are looking into seeing if it's muffled and how we sound, and see if I can do anything different. But we might ask Crystal, see what she thinks on her end. Hey, Chief. Oh my gosh. I'm going to leave out that word. How is Grinstead doing? Just for those who don't know, Grinstead was the uniformed officer when I was in high school. Yes, because I'm about 51 in a couple of weeks. So I will tell you this, Chief Grinstead is doing well. He is over the administrative side of the house now. He is over our recruiting and IT side, background investigators, he's over the training division, budget and finance. So I will tell you, Krista, I'm not going to put that one word in there, but he is certainly seasoned veteran of our organization. He's doing well. He is off on a vacation. I think he started today. We spent some time together yesterday. We were up at the academy talking to a few of the recruits, but he's doing well, and I will certainly tell him that you checked in on him. Sound good? He's doing okay. Are we sounding better, Kelly, or any?
We checked. We don't seem.
Okay.
We don't seem to hear anything, but.
Crystal checked that she feels good.
Crystal says
So I'm
good.
still waiting to hear from Crystal's parents. We're supposed to be logging on here. I need one thing before we get off here. We got about 20 more minutes. I need something. I got to have one way to tease her. I know she got a favorite song or something. What's her favorite snack? It's like me and we fight over gummy bears. It could be bad, but I'm waiting to hear from Crystal's parents. So you got to give me something.
I did finally get a co-coffee drinker.
You got a co-coffee drinker.
She drinks coffee, and I have no one else.
Crystal drinks coffee with you?
Yes.
Now look, does she drink coffee like out of a coffee pot, like hot coffee, or is it one of these foo-foo drinks that's got foam and caramel and all that stuff dripping off of it?
The girl likes it plain.
Just okay. So it's just straight. Okay, that's what I'm talking. So her, you, and Chief Hires all gotta have.
Yes.
There's some people in this department I can't even say hello to until they have their coffee in the morning. Chief Hires is one of them. But I want to know if Crystal does I want to know if she does the foo-foo coffee, or if it's like just, hey, just give it to me right out of the pot. Right. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Now, if you're Sergeant Millette, I know you're coming in here with iced coffee and multi-flavors and foam, and then some picture written on top of the foam is what he's got in there. So it's crazy. Krista, I absolutely love that man. He stayed with me during a medical emergency during my 11th grade year. Krista, I'll tell you, he has a big heart. He also loves the youth. Very, very passionate about this profession. You'd have to be to do as many years as he had, yeah. So I will certainly tell him. Krista, what school was it? Was it Denby? He told me about his years as a school resource officer. I think he told me Denby, but I could be wrong. Kelly, if Crystal's parents log on here and they use some fake name, I'm calling them out. You get the IT people up here, we'll get it straight. We talked about graduation. I do want to invite you. I'm telling you, it's something special. Football games, I'm excited, right? High school football is back. They try to go to every football game on Friday night. I'll do that again. And this Saturday is a really big game between Phoebus and Warwick. That's Saturday at noon, so I'll be there. I have one event after that, but I'm excited going to that game. I'm going to get there early. They've got some buddies coming down from Richmond that are also going to attend that game and watch it. So I'm looking forward to that. Joy. I grew up on the perpendicular street to Grinstead, same neighborhood. Well, Joy, I'm sure you got some stories you'll have to share with me sometime. Anything good you got I can teach them about, I will pay top dollar. I will pay top dollar for that. We talked about our recruit class, right? Let me share with you. Denby. I thought so. 1993. That's when he was a school resource officer in 1993? Oh, that might be good enough to tease him right there. I appreciate that. That's good to know. Kelly, you're writing that down. 1993. I love it. So we talk about a recruit class. We have 14 that are going to graduate next Friday. We have another 19 that are going to graduate in February, and we're putting in a new class in October. We'll probably have about 17, 18 in that class. They will graduate just before the summer. And I got to interview 3 or 4 in the last 2 days. 2 are from California, speak fluent Spanish. Female I talked to today said she did her background and she wanted to come here. She did a ride-along and really enjoyed the officers. They talked highly of the department. And I do think that's important. You know, I think the best, we can do all the marketing we want. I think the best, I see you, Krista. I think the best thing in marketing department is that when it comes from word of mouth from someone else. I just think that is so important. Ruby, how are you? It's good to have you here tonight. I appreciate you chiming in, spending some time with us. Hope all is well. So we talked about, I tell you, at City Council last night. The City Council had a joint meeting with School Board. It was a really good meeting. They talked about some different things, but what I really liked is Rob Coleman, who sits on the Public Safety Committee with Tina Vick, and we meet with them. He talked about crime numbers that I've shared with you, and he talked about his appreciation in City Council, the mayor's appreciation, our vice mayor, about how the department's doing, how the city's doing. And that meant a lot to the officers. So I really, really appreciate, shout out to the mayor, vice mayor, Councilman Coleman, and Councilman Dick. Men and women here are working hard, and they do take this job personal. They do invest their time, and so I really, really appreciate that. But that was a really good meeting. We talked about our recruit class that's getting ready to start. I want to share with you another group that's getting ready to start. Now, you've heard me call out 2 people here tonight, Akela and Ria. A friend of mine, Samaya, is downstairs right now as we speak. You also heard me talk about teenagers who serve as our guest speakers in our training academy graduations. That group is made up of what we call young adult police commissioners. Now, we have 6 high schools in our city, and we select a freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior from each high school. That's 24 kids. Right, Kelly? 6 times 4 is? 24. You can shout it out. You know the answer. 24. Right now, we're looking at 45 high school kids that want to come work with the police department. I think that is phenomenal. 45 high school kids that want to come here every Wednesday for about 3 hours and interact with this police department. And the things that we do, we have a gala at the end of the year. We take them out and do boat rides with our Marine unit. We walk in communities, have interactions with citizens. We go to work at the food bank and package food and deliver food. We set up and do debates. We have roundtable discussions about how they view the city, how they view policing, 21st century. We learn as much from them as they do from us. Media outlets, Kelly and her team and media outlets will come in and teach them how to do interviews. Oftentimes I will share more with them than I will the actual media. We'll have real conversations. And those are the students that we select to be our guest speakers at graduation. And that's important. When we're investing in youth, new chiefs will call me and, Chief, give me one piece of advice. And that's the easiest. Always, always, always invest in community and focus on the youth. That's important. Not just something that we say behind a podium once and then we're done. That we make it part of the fabric of what we're doing. So how do we ensure that? If you want to be a master police officer and a corporal in this organization, you got to do 30 hours of what? Community service. I provide a lot of training. I want you to be invested in this community. If you want to get promoted to corporal, sergeant, lieutenant, captain, you have to go through an interview process. And on that interview panel, myself, one of the other assistant chiefs, and a community member. Pastor Maxwell of New Beach Grove has helped me promote the last assistant chiefs that we've had. Dr. Lyons and Mike Coker from the Department of Criminal Justice Services. Dr. Lyons, a psychologist, helped us promote the last captain. Jennifer Brooks, the president of the NAACP, helped me select the last group of lieutenants. Church members, chaplains, teachers, retired people from the shipyard, individuals who work at the Boys and Girls Club helped me pick my corporals and sergeants. That's important because citizens ask different questions than the police side. What would you do in this situation? A citizen may ask, how are you going to treat a teenager who's caught after curfew and doing something they shouldn't be doing? That's important. I want this community to know that youth matters to me. I want officers to know that youth matter to me. And I want youth to know that they matter. And that's how you reinforce the things that we're trying to do here in our city. Ruby Hill, Vivian, Vivian, thank you for being here. That means a lot. You took time, and all of you, right, that have taken time to spend with us this evening. My intent is just to kind of spend some time trying to be open and transparent. What are we doing? I will tell you, this department is very, very big on technology. We're very, very progressive. I believe we're going to be the first to have drones as first responders. And what I mean by that, we're not using drone technology to, hey, let's just see what's going on over here. Let's take a look. That when we get a call, those high priority calls, especially violence, it takes anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. That's what I want officers from that point of that call coming out to be on the scene. Drone technology can get there in about 2 minutes. That's quicker than we're responding. And for officers to have phones, if there's been a shooting, God forbid some critical incident, when the individual or individuals who committed that act start walking away, officers sometimes will drive right past them without knowing a description and go to where the victim is. Then we start putting the information out, and then we try to circle the neighborhoods and find who those individuals are. A drone might be able to hover over that and give us, we can look on the phones or our dashboard or our computers in the car, and the drone will be able to point out the victim. Right? We get that the quicker. It's all about speed. How are we safer? If there's a building that's on fire, we're using a drone to deploy. What area is most the best way for the fire department to respond to? There's a missing child, someone with Alzheimer's that is out in elements. We're able to move and search for them much faster and much quicker. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about that $170,000 simulator that we have up in our academy. That was built and paid for with 2 grants we put together. The NAACP is going to be a group that has a meeting, I believe, next month to go through that simulator. And tomorrow night, our Citizens Academy, the famous Monica White, everybody knows Monica. She's downstairs right now at that rap party with the domestic violence group putting the event on. But I think she told me that 23 people are signed up. That is just a group. Man, we open the doors of this department and share it with citizens. It's about a 9-week program, and they're going to be the first group to actually go through that simulator. And if they choose not to and they just want to watch, that's fine. But you can see the training that we're putting officers in. Not only do we have that 6-screen simulator, so you kind of walk up and you're in it, but then also they also have virtual helmets that can show you quick data points and response time and tell you how you did in certain situations. It's just new technology and training. I think it's very, very, very beneficial. You're going to see more about that upcoming as Kelly and others push that out and talk about that training, which I think is so important. So we're very, very progressive here, and I'm just looking at better ways to train officers. It also can help us escalate and de-escalate, right? And we can change the scenario. So the operators who are putting on the scenario, if an officer is too aggressive, it will show, you can have the simulation become more aggressive. If you saw the officer de-escalate, you can have the individual de-escalate as well. And that's really what we're trying to get across. But it's just really, that technology is so, I think it's going to be so valuable for us, and I'm really excited to have it. Elizabeth, teacher here, we love our SRO. Well, Elizabeth, yeah, help me out with what school, because I'll tell you, a lot of them are downstairs right now. Our SROs work all of the football games. They coach some of the middle school SROs actually coach football. Um, and one of the best things about going to the football games here is that when I walk the field, the outer part of the field, right, I get to interact with them a little bit. Those school resource officers are selected. The school plays a role in selecting those individuals. It's individuals who care about young people, who want to invest in young people. I think they do a phenomenal job. They also get very attached. They help us select young adult police commissioners as well. They're the ones that do a lot of the transporting. Um, but I'll tell you, they build strong relationships. They are not in schools to make sure people don't have their phones out. They're there to build relationships and protect those kids and faculty and staff. And for you to say that, that means that Denby High School, look, like Morrison, there you go. They love him, right? Players love him, coaches love him, teachers love him. And here's the thing, Morrison loves you guys. He talks to me all the time. And I can tell you, before Morrison, it was Aaron Watkins. Those SROs are so popular and build a relationship with those kids. It's just phenomenal. I was just downstairs teasing Green a little bit. He's at Achievable Dream, does a phenomenal job. And those relationships matter. That's it. That's important. They're building relationships with the future. You know, when we have issues about threats at school or something that might happen in a school, 99% of those, you know where they come from? Other students. And who do they reach out to? Their school resource officer through social media. They're sharing that. Hey, we want you to know. And I don't care if it's 10 o'clock at night, if it's 1 in the morning, then everything starts rolling. But I will tell you, the job they do, those 13 individuals are just amazing. And I love the investment that they're making with young people. So Elizabeth, thank you. That means. So I'm sorry.
I think we missed Annette.
I missed Annette. Annette, connecting with the youth, and Annette. First of all, thanks for being here. I think you were on our afternoon as well, so I appreciate that. Annette says connecting with youth and letting them know law enforcement can make a world of difference. Annette, I'm telling you, you're absolutely right. And I get choked up at graduation. I get choked up for 2 reasons. One, because I know what those officers are going to see in their years in policing. I know what they're going to see and experience. The other is when I see those high school students talk about things that's challenging, things that are important to them, things that they're concerned about in their young life, and they stand up there bold and they talk to a community, an auditorium of individuals, and then to recruits that are graduating that are not much older than they are. I'm telling you, that's powerful. That's powerful. I challenge you now, to the people that are logged on today, if you're able to come to a graduation, you can watch it online, but there ain't nothing like being there in person. You will feel a part of that graduation, I promise you. Michael Coker, Chief Drew, thank you for participating in the new Chief's certification next week. So, Mike, you're very welcome, very honored and humbled to do it. I will tell you what he's talking about is when we have new chiefs of police in the state of Virginia. Mike, chime in, tell me if I'm wrong, but they have to go through a 40-hour course about just kind of things that happen here in Virginia, right? So if you're from, there's some different, every state has some differences in certifications and those things, but it's a little bit, hey, Department of Criminal Justice puts on, and I've been able to go up and not to tell them how to do the job. They're selected as chiefs. Really, it's just sharing mistakes that I've made and lessons that I've learned. Sometimes I'll teach classes on stuff, importance of community, the importance of youth, Annette, right? Importance of youth. I will talk about dealing with media in the time of crisis, and working with the media and being transparent. And right, Kelly, if we're not talking to them, they will find somebody in the community to talk to them. So we get them the accurate information. We don't want to blow any cases, but I've been able to do that a couple of times, and Mike's I'm very humbled to be asked to go up there and just speak a little bit. I know my friend Captain Roan over in Hampton has done that as well. Chief Newdigate in Virginia Beach, mentor to me, and my friend Steve Jenkins over in Portsmouth. And I know that Mike puts together a pretty good roster, a pretty good syllabus there, and the topics there are very, very important. It is what every new chief or every chief deals with you talk about media, responding to critical situations. It's really good stuff. So I'm very, very appreciative of that, Mike. What else we got going on, man? We kind of hit. We talked about Forensics Week. We talked about Hispanic Heritage Month. We talked about the Demi Day Parade. That was great. A couple weeks ago, we had the Southeast Community Parade. Both of those were fantastic. Graduation that's upcoming. Football games that'll be Friday night and Saturday night. We do have an all-week recruiting event next week, right? August the 6th through the 10th? No, not next week. The week at October 6th through the 10th. And what that means is you can come here. We're going to do multiple things all in one day. So you don't have to keep coming back. We're putting the final touches on the recruit class that will start in October. And then we'll also be looking at filling the class that will take place in February. Our department is growing. When I got here in 2018, we had 448 officers. That was our authorization. And in 2025, our overall strength was taken up to 484. And our goal is to be at 500. That for the calls we respond to, what we do in our community, the investment that I need to have to interact with young people, that's important. I should have shared with Mike as a representative from DCJS. I should share with you. I think it's 480 hours that the state says you have to teach to be an officer. You have to 480, but we do a little over. Mike, you can correct me. I think we're around 11 or 1,200, maybe a little over 1,000. But one of the things we do in our academy is about midway through, we turn all the computers off, we close the laptops, put the folders away, and we talk about service-oriented, right? 21st century policing, building relationships in the community. Dr. Lyons calls it wetting the grass. I'll share with you what that means. But instead of teaching from a PowerPoint, we're walking in communities, shaking hands, knocking on individuals' doors, and hey, I'm recruit so-and-so, and I'm going to be an officer in Newport News, and I just want to introduce myself. How long have you lived in the community? Have you seen it? Right? We're talking, having conversations. They're interacting with individuals that are homeless. They're interacting with individuals who have problems with drug addiction. They're going to elementary schools and reading books. We're going to the food pantries, food banks. 2 classes a little over a year ago built a playground right there in the Central Precinct at the Boys and Girls Club. So when officers in Central Precinct drive past that playground, they see kids playing on a playground that they built. And that means something. Dr. Lyons equates it to keeping the grass wet. And then she equates a critical incident as a match. And if you have wet grass and that match that's lit drops in that wet grass, it fizzles out. You get a little bit of smoke, but it fizzles out. If you don't have those community relations and that grass is dry, and then something critical happens and that match sparks and you drop it on dry grass, that fire ignites and spreads. It's very, very critical. When I listen to Dr. Lyons talk to me about community relations, being transparent, being open, quick responses, all of those things is keeping that grass wet, building those good relationships. Mike, you didn't know I could go that deep. That's some psychology coming out of me, my friend. Anna Whalen, hey Chief, it's almost time to come to the wrap party. Yep, I'm going to be down there shortly. I got to interact with. There was a lot of young people down there too, Anna, when I was there. As soon as I finish here, I'm going to come down and interact a little bit. I saw you. It looked like you got enough pizza down there to feed the neighborhood. That's amazing. So I'm excited to come down and interact a little bit. Unprecedented in the state, only academy that does this. And Mike's talking about the what we call it Community Week, where we walk away from training and go out into the community. But I would submit to you that is a different type of training. That's a different type of training. And if you ask officers over the last 4 or 5 years that are here, what was their favorite thing in the academy, most of them will say it was Community Week. The relationships we met, people we met, and interactions. That's powerful. It's not just responding to a scene, taking a report, and going to the next call. It's about investing in people. I appreciate that, Mike, and I appreciate all the help and mentorship that you've given me as well. You've left a big footprint on this department. The training that you provided, not only with recruits, but our leadership here, and I'm very grateful. Joy, thank you for the way you handled the Rich Neck situation, letting us know what you knew. It is in a very timely manner. Well, Joy, I will tell you, it was a hard situation. I remember getting that call and getting to the scene, and I tried to put myself in teachers, faculty, staff's shoes, students' shoes, and parents. And what I wanted to do is make sure that scene was safe. Once I was notified of that, I quickly tried to get to the media and not give a great many details, but to tell parents that their kids were safe, that the individual was in custody, and my next priority was making sure that we got kids back with their parents. And the parents were just phenomenal. I know there was some impatience. I would be too. It's my son or daughter in that school. I want to put eyes on them and make sure they're okay. I remember the mayor and I walking the line, people who were lined up at school set up, and we just wanted to say, hey, all right, kids, go to your parents, and we'll see you tomorrow. To make sure that we unified them. I know we practice and practice, but there is no blueprint to do it perfect. It comes down to how you treat and interact with people. And I was just so appreciative of our community. Joy, to your point, I did want to get information out to let people know that everyone was safe, all the students were being accounted for, and that we were going to get them reunited with their families as quickly as possible. And I just thought that was amazing. So I'll never forget that day. There's things that happen to you in law enforcement, in this profession, and that'll be a day I'll never forget. So we're at 7:05, Kelly. Where'd the time go? Crystal. Crystal out there? So again, Crystal, where's mom and dad at? Did they log on tonight? So, I'm going to tell you this. When you watch this later on, what's your mom and dad's first names? Brenda and Jim. At the 7:06 mark, by my time, it's Wednesday night, people may be at Bible study, I would accept that. But I want you to know from the chief of this department, we are very, very fortunate to have Crystal with us. We had a good time today. We got to have some Mexican, Latino food together. It was excellent. But we've been waiting for her for a long time. Very thankful that she's here. So if you're able to log on at the 7:06 mark, she has helped us greatly. When these lights go out, she stood over us with a flashlight to make sure I didn't have too much glow coming off my head. But she is fantastic, and she's going to be doing some great things here. So thank you for allowing her to come work and be part of our family. Annette, thank you for taking the time to do this. Annette, thank you for logging on tonight. We're going to do this again in October. Again, I invite everyone to graduation October the 3rd, 10 a.m. at Manna Church. 14 young recruits are going to walk across that stage. Someone they choose is going to put a badge on their chest, and I will tell you, they will remember that for the rest of their lives. So please be safe. Thank you guys for spending a little bit of time with me tonight, and we will do this again next month, okay? Thank you guys, and God bless. I forgot today was Wednesday. Where do they go?